All right, today is the 8th. Yesterday we took our test. If you didn't take the test, please raise your hand. You didn't take it? There's no more over there. Anybody else need a packet? Anybody not finished with the test yesterday? Okay. All right, so yesterday we took our test. Today we're going to write in our planner and we're going to do the warm-up. We are going to go over how to determine which is going to be our X and our Y, our independent, dependent. We're going to go through graphing a little bit, make sure that we can graph some ordered pairs, and then we're going to talk about scatter plots. Help video, we'll go to Remind at 2 p.m. It's also on Canvas. Please make sure that you watch that if you need help. Planner, don't forget that Tuesday and Thursday is tutoring. Tuesday and Thursday is tutoring. We didn't write in our planner yesterday because we took a test. Planner today, Math 8. Homework, make sure you watch the help video. Pause will come up. Let's look at Tuesday's warm-up. We are identifying the different correlations. We talked about correlation on Monday. There are 3 types. It's either positive correlation, where the points are going up. This is a positive correlation. We have negative correlation, where the points are going down. And we have a no correlation, where the points are just scattered everywhere. You can't tell if it's going up or down. Okay. So in this particular scenario, it says identify the correlation, whether it's positive, negative, or it's no correlation to it at all. You would expect to see between the number of pets. So we got the number of pets a person has and the number of times you go to the pet store. So probably the number of pets is going to be, not probably, your number of pets is going to be your X, number of pets. It's unaffected by the times you go to the store. Go to store. The number of times you go to the pet store is going to depend on how many pets you have. So the more pets you have, the more times you're probably going to have to go to the pet store. So as X increases, this is always going to increase. Your Y is going to increase as well. It's not going to decrease because you have more pets. It's actually going to increase. So this is a positive correlation. And then go to pet store. I need to write that. Go to pet store. Okay. All right. What kind of correlation is this?
No correlation.
This is a no. This is a no correlation because the points are everywhere. Sorry. All right, let's line up the restroom, please. All right, we all have to go. You don't have to symbol. We all have to go. No more. You're doing way too much. Just stop right here. Come on in. Shh. Just stay right there. No, no, you're doing a lot. You being no, no. Time out. Time out. No.
Oh, no, that's my only pencil, bro. Take one of his thousands.
I don't have a pencil, bro.
One of his.
What pencils? I don't got a pencil. I don't got a pencil.
What? Stop flirting, guys.
What a cute couple.
Yours. Bro, you don't touch me.
Jaden, stop molesting.
Nigga, you molest me! Scratch me, kick me, every step away.
All right.
My butt cheeks.
Okay, here we go.
I do not.
Wednesday, We'll be fine. Okay, put this in a safe place, please. There is a sheet. I need you to take out your interactive notebook. I need you to take out your notebook. You need a pair of scissors, please. Make sure that you take out a pair of scissors. And you need the glue. Scissors and glue. All right, this little sheet that I gave you, please put in front of you, along with your notebook. So you need your notebook and you need this sheet. Looks like this. Okay. You didn't get one? Give me a second. All right, so we're on page 12. 13? Yeah, 13, sorry. We're on page 13. We're on page 13. All right. Don't cut them out just yet because there's going to be certain ones I want you to cut and certain ones we're going to discard, okay? Bless it. Q3, page 13. All right. We're going to talk about X and Y today, independent, dependent relationship. So we're going to go over independent and dependent variables. Okay. We're going to go over independent and dependent variables. All right, don't cut anything. Where's your notebook, Jaden? Where's your notebook? Take your notebook out, babe. All right. We're getting ready to go into scatter plots. And as you know, with scatter plots, a scatter plot is where you are making comparison of two different variables. So we're going to have a scatter plot. A scatter plot is a graph that compares two variables or two quantities. In most cases, the two quantities have an independent and dependent relationship, or the two variables, in what looks like a coordinate plane. This is a coordinate plane. Most of the time we use the first quadrant of a coordinate plane. Most of the time. We label the horizontal number line as the x-axis, as our x, and the vertical number line as the y-axis. Our x values, for the most part, there are different names for both x and y. And for the most part, our x values, we can call x values. Our y values, or the numbers along the y-axis, we call those our y values. We can also call the x input, and we can call the y our output values. Another name for x could be domain values, our domain. Another word for y could be range. If we're looking for what we call the x values or input values or our domain, we can also call them the independent variable. If we're looking for what we would call the numbers along the y-axis or our y values, it will be our dependent variable. The y is your dependent variable. The output or our totals generally depend on what the x is. Your y, for the most part, depends on x. I'm going to pause for the calls to give you a chance to write, and then we're going to do some independent, dependent examples. Some common mistakes that we make when we're creating a scatter plot is to connect points. Please don't connect the points of a scatter plot. We're going to be creating lines of best fit later, but you don't never really connect all of the points together, okay? You graph the points and you're going to draw a line, one single line that goes through most of the points, but you don't connect the points, okay? So please don't connect the points. That will be a line graph, okay? With a scatter plot, you graph the ordered pairs and you might have one single line going in the same direction as the points, but you do not connect all of the points together, okay? All right, so now we're going to focus more on the independent dependent relationships, and we're going to do some examples, okay? And then you're going to work with a partner or so or group to complete the rest of the examples. All right, so let's look at this. In our first example, an independent dependent relationship, let's do this. The number of hours that you work that's one variable, and the total amount of money that you make, total income. Where do you think these variables belong? Do you think the number of hours, plural, work belongs on the y-axis, or do you think it belongs on the x-axis? And then total income, do you think it belongs along the x-axis or the y-axis? This is your x-axis, which is also your independent variable, where your independent would go. And this is your y-axis, where your dependent variable would go. Okay, which is depending on what? Does the number of hours depend on income, or does the income depend on the number of hours that you work? Okay. All right. Which one is going to be which one is the dependent? Is it the number of hours depending on the total, or is it the total depending on the number of hours? Which one? Total is depending on the number of hours. So your total is your Y, and the number of hours you work is your X. So along the X axis, you will put the number of hours worked. And along the Y, you will put the total income. How much money is coming in? One more example. First, what do you think the scatter plot would look like? Do you think the points would go up as the number of hours increase, the money you make will increase? Or do you think the points are going to go down? The more hours you work, the less money you make. Which one do you think it is? Points up or points down? The points are going to go up. The more money, the more hours you work, the more money you're going to make. So in this situation, this would be a positive correlation. I'm going to pause for the calls. All right. Okay. I want you to pick one person that you would like to work with, or work with a group of people at a table. I'm going to give you exactly, count to 10 for you to move to the person or people that you would like to work with. Okay. Let's do that quickly, and then we're going to get started. 1. This is page 13. Continue. We're gonna make 3 columns. In this first column, it's going to be our X values, or our independent variable. In the second column, it's going to be our Y values, or our dependent variable. And then the last column is going to be the graph. And you're going to tell whether or not it would be a positive. Oh, Miss Reyes, I'm sorry, y'all. Positive, negative, or no correlation. All right, so please take your scissors, and we're gonna cut. We're gonna cut these out. Let's do that, please. Cut them out. I'm gonna give a pause for the calls to give us a chance to cut each of the blocks out, or the rectangles.